Just a few hours away from this evening's game against Harrogate Town, and it's time for another pitch update with Chaz. We've had a little bit of change of scenery. We're up here in the match day control room where all the eyes are on you lot watching in the stand from up here. Chaz, welcome up here. I'm not sure if you've been up here too many times. Certainly the first time to film this. How are we?
I'm great, yeah. This is a very different place from the old control room. And funnily enough, just under 10 years ago, one of my first taskings was to make the old control room dry because it was a bit moist inside. And we clad it with a load of stuff. And I was a bit disappointed when they knocked it all down because I was hoping to reuse the cladding to build myself a shed somewhere. I'm not sure where the shed was going to be, but it was going to be one hell of a shed. And they ended up not letting me take it away and demolished it all. But hey-ho, I'll leave that. I better leave that one because I can't keep on with these things, can you? But yeah, so yeah, it's very different, very smart up here, isn't it? All the posh, intelligent people are up here, and if I'd worked a bit harder at school, I might have been up here myself.
Well, there we go. There's a life lesson to you all. Work hard and you get a nice office. Jazz, obviously, first of 2 home games this week. I know there's a storm due to come in towards the end of this week as well, but obviously all focus is on the pitch for today.
Yeah. We anticipated a bit of weather coming through, which it did this morning, and so we did a lot of the prep yesterday. They said it was going to stop raining at 3, which it stopped raining at 2:30. So we are able to get a nice white line on it. The Harrogate kitman or the physio or whatever, he said could he set all his cones out early. So he obviously looked at the pitch and thought that looks ready for football. So I'll take that as a pat on the back. He's put all his gear out there, most of it on the white line. So we've had to move it all anyway. But hey ho.
Sorry,
so he's obviously liking the look of the place, and yes, we're really pleased taking the water. We've had a bit of water over the weekend after the last Tuesday game, and yeah, game on Saturday. So optimistic about tonight's game. Should behave in exactly the same way as we know it behaves. And then Saturday will be the same. And then the bit I'm looking forward to, 2.5 weeks of getting on with looking after it and nurturing it and putting holes in it and more seed on it and more sand on it, and most importantly, getting a rest before we run into the next run of games. And I think we've got 9 games left here, 9 league games. And after Saturday, it'll only be 7. So counting down the games, not because I'm wishing my life away, but obviously counting down the games to the end of the season where we can sit down and review how it went pitch-wise and, see where we can improve it. So, yeah, it's a good place. We're in a good place, I think, with the pitch. And, we've had a bit of weather chucked around this week, and there's a lot of high winds coming, which won't necessarily affect the surface. Certainly affect the playability if it's very windy on Sunday. But, I'll speak to McGaffer, and we'll have to look around and make sure nothing's hanging off, because if it's hanging off now, it'll probably be falling off by the end of the week. So we'll walk around the stadium over the next few days and make sure everything's we'll batten down the hatches, as they say, on the ocean.
Obviously, it's not just here that you look after. There's the training ground as well. And also, we know about the training ground development that's going to be going on. It's starting soon. How does that work out for you? What's going on for you? Because in this 2 weeks, I imagine you'll be doing a little bit of work over there as well.
Yeah, we're obviously always on with the surfaces, negotiating with the coaches, because we might have an opportunity to do a fair bit of work on pitch 1. And have it for a bit longer than we would normally get it, because the work is very close to pitch 1 that's going to be going ahead. And so it will be a good idea to keep off that one. So we're hoping to get a bit more, maybe an extra 4 or 5 weeks of work on that one. And just generally around the place, we're trying to tidy it up. We've got people coming in. We want to show it off a little bit. We're working on it, and getting it looking tidy, and so the contractors, when they turn up, they see it nice and tidy, and hopefully we can have that ethos right the way through, and when they give it back to us, it'll be nice and tidy as well. It's exciting times right the way through, and I enjoy my input, which will obviously be very much logistical, drainage, all that sort of logistical stuff, making sure we can safely get. I can safely make sure we don't do anything which is going to affect us long term as groundsmen in getting lorries in and out, and getting equipment in and out, and not that it's a fight, but fight in my corner as far as groundsmanship goes, and because obviously it's a massively important part of that site is the ground and how it logistically works. Because if it don't work, then it makes life really difficult in the future for us to make big improvements. We made good improvements, made big improvements with the Astro and some of the surfaces out there, but long term, we've got great vision for that place. Now we've got the longer lease on it. Or the massive lease on it. So yeah, we're hoping that site can be developed from some surfaces that will match the new buildings that are going to be out there. It's exciting times at Exeter City, right the way across the board, really. Both here when you can hear the rattle guns going in the background with something being built. I used to love my old Meccano when I was a kid, and I'd have happily build one of those when I was younger, or even now. I'd quite like to build it. But you got to do it with a plan. But I know you should build anything with a plan. Some people say I still don't.
I'm sure there's an instruction booklet somewhere. Like you said, we've certainly got a team to be proud of at the moment. We've got a pitch to be proud of, and I think the training ground is in the making as well. So Chaz, thank you very much. We'll let you crack on because I know you've got the lines to paint on ahead of tonight.
Yeah, lines to paint on, get all the furniture out and goals in, and yeah, quite looking forward to tonight's game. It's not going to be windy tonight, but I fear windy on Saturday, so yeah, make the most of it tonight, I think.
It's
going to be a game of two halves on Saturday with the wind, and depending on which, I think it's coming from the southwest as well, so that'll be blowing straight down the ground.
So thanks very much to Michael Fish there.